see how we get on. Oh, I hope this is good. The D&D stuff was amazing, so...
By accident most strange, bountiful fortune hath mine enemies brought to this shore. Here, cease more questions. Thou art inclined to sleep. 'Tis a good dullness, and give it way. I know thou canst not choose. Come away, servant. Come.
That's us.
Shit. Come on.
That's you.
I am ready now.
Get up there.
Approach, my Ariel. Come.
Go, go, go.
Damn it. No problem. I've got this. I just walk to Rachel and say my line.
Hi.
All hail, great mistress. I come to answer thy best pleasure.
Most fearless, generous spirit.
I boarded the king's ship. In every cabin, I flamed amazement. The fire and cracks of sulphurous roaring, the most mighty Neptune seemed to besiege and make his bold waves tremble.
My brave spirit, who was so firm, so constant, that this coil would not infect his reason.
Not a soul. The king's son, Ferdinand, was the first man that leaped from his ship and cried,
Hell is empty.
hell is empty, and all the devils are here.
Yes.
But are they, Ariel? Safe?
All right. I guess this is...
You are supposed to walk, if I remember correctly, to the top of the shipwreck. Up and up and up and up and up we go.
Not a hair perished, and as thou badest me,
Badest.
have dispersed them about the isle
In troops.
in troops.
Bravo.
Drama.
Thy charge exactly is performed. But there's more work.
More toil.
Is there more toil? Let me remember thee what thou hast promised.
How now? What is't thou canst demand?
I know this one. I don't even need to look at this.
My liberty.
Indeed.
Thy liberty?
Indeed.
Nay, this most of all I will not grant.
You're not escaping me.
That's not her line.
That is not her line.
What's going on?
But the house... Oh, shit. She's gone off script. But thou hast promised.
But thou assured my freedom. Didn't thou?
I never said how dearly I hold thee. My habit's been to keep my soul well draped.
Aww.
Most loyal spirit, companion, and friend. Is acting in my service not replete with excitement, amusement, and delight?
Of course, mistress. Most truly, it is so.
Aww.
They're way off script. It's magical.
Then why, I pray you, wish you to be free?
Oh, man.
Excitement's a mere counterfeit of bliss. These storms and these adventures. I prefer to know thou still cared for my plainest self.
I have thee in my grasp. I will not bend. I will not see thee flying forth alone. The envy would be more than I could bear.
So come with me. Is that not in thy power?
Spirit, take my hands. Most faithful friend, for but a little longer I beseech. Continue in thy service to my schemes, and when they are complete, I swear to thee, we shall fly beyond this isle. The corners of the world are mere prologue. I'll seek to make thy happiness so great that e'en the name of liberty's forgot. What sayest thou to my most hopeful wish? Yes, I am most pleased. Your duty done for now, so go forth hence with haste. I've work to do.
You crushed it. So good.
You're a born thespian, my dear. I'll be chasing you down next year. And the ending, absolutely transformative. I am humbled.
Thanks.
What the hell just happened?
Strangeness of your
Was that
story
real?
Put heaviness in me.
Shake it off. Come on. We'll visit Caliban, my slave.
'Tis a villain, sir. I do not love to look on.
He does make our fire, fetch in our wood. What ho! Slave! Caliban! Come forth, I say!
As wicked do as e'er my mother brush with raven's feather from unwholesome.
I wonder how much of this
bed.
they're actually going to perform.
Drop on you both. A southwest blow on ye, and blister you all o'er.
Thou poisonous slave, got by the devil himself, filth as thou art, I have lodged thee in mine own cell, till thou didst seek to violate the honor of my child.
Yes, because Caliban tries to
Oh, oh,
rape
oh, oh.
Miranda.
Would it had been done. Thou didst prevent me. I had peopled else this isle with Calibans.
Fetch us in fuel, and be quick. So, slave, hence.
Where should this music be? In the air or the
Huh?
earth?
This play is super intense.
It actually is. It's surprisingly.
It carries a brave form, but 'tis a spirit.
No, wench. It eats
Wench.
infants and hath such senses as we have.
It's talking about Ferdinand there, not about
I will
Ariel.
resist such entertainment.
Put thy sword up, traitor!
Do you love me?
O heaven, O earth, bear witness to this sound. I, beyond all limit of what else in the world do love, prize, honor you.
His tears run down his beard like winter's drops from eaves of reeds.
Go release them, Ariel. My charms I'll break. Their senses I'll
So we're getting the
restore,
abridged version.
and they shall
here.
be themselves. Now my charms are all o'erthrown, and what strength I have's mine own. Pray, release me from my bands, with the help of your good hands.
Clap, 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 clap. Shakespeare always, or very often, got his actors to ask for their own applause. Do we get to go out as... She's going to call us out, isn't she? Or is she? Mr. Keaton gets to go on. Come on, drag us out.
Wasn't that fun?
You're so dead.
How dead?
Oh,
Hell
God.
dead.
Everybody knows who it is as well. hella dead. Oh, that was awesome. And there's Sarah. Ah, man. Strongly suspect. Strongly suspect. She just looks too much like Chloe.
Oh my god.
Chloe, Rachel.
Behind you when you walked on stage? I was shitting myself. He was shitting himself. That dude owes me.
Yep. Ah, somebody. I've never understood why people will just dump their bikes by the side of the road or whatever. I don't know whether that says something about where I grew up, but you can't just leave things lying unattended around. Mind you, are they? They're not on campus, are they?
What if I told you that the entire fate of our production rests upon your
Slender shoulders.
I've never had an experience like that on stage.
Yeah, right?
You No, you. Like, seriously. I love nights after a show.
Is it always like this?
Oh,
Yep.
totally. It's such a high. No more nerves, just the adrenaline. So, first timer, are you proud of yourself? You were literally perfect tonight. I was
Oh,
blown away.
Yeah, I feel really awesome. If you told me this morning I'd be this happy tonight,
You've gone through so much shit today.
oh, this is
right
still the
now it's
day
pretty good.
that she. Is it still the
Okay,
day?
The whole show was good. I admit it.
Yeah.
It's
It's
magical,
Magical.
milady. Hold a hand. This is the kind of moment where you take somebody and twirl them round. Say something. Should have said something. Is that the shirt that... It is. That's the shirt that we got Max to wear
For real?
in chapter 4.
For real, huh?
You said you wanted to skip town and never look back. Like I said last night. Let's do it.
I know. I've been thinking about that all day.
But that was...
Don't say it was just a crazy thought. You mean it. I can tell. You want this.
Yeah.
But, like, eventually.
Let's go now. Didn't we already agree on stage?
We can't just...
Why not?
Fine then, drama queen. Where are we going?
You tell me.
Oh, man.
Uniquely twisted location does Chloe Price
Plus Rachel Amber equal.
Hmm.
She's from LA. No, she's from... She wants to go to New York.
Hell. New York City.
Obviously.
Obviously.
3 a.m. You and me outside some cafe on St. Mark's, shoving pizza in our mouths.
Pizza.
Shouting
That's what
Broadway
I'm doing
songs
later.
to 10 people we just met. And this cute guy in horn-rimmed glasses will pass by and see you and slow down.
Yeah. Okay.
He'll be like, want to split a cab? And I'll be like, back off. She's like,
You're full of shit.
Yeah.
I love this time of night.
Yep.
Don't you just feel like everything's possible?
Oh, man. This is kind of rubbing it in for those of us who know what happens.
Rachel, stop. If you don't mean this, it's just making me feel like shit that this life you're describing
isn't going to happen.
For fuck's sake! I've never been more serious in my life.
Whee!
Chloe, what would it take to convince you?
Oh, what? Oh. Oh. Your bracelet. Well, what the one that she never takes off. Well, we know that ends up with Frank, so that's probably a bad choice. Or maybe that's a good choice. Maybe that's no. This is a critical choice as well, interestingly enough. It's got the critical bum 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 music. Well, let's be honest. Let's be honest. This is clearly going.
How about,
Oh.
Oh. Oh, wow. Wow.
Is that convincing enough?
yeah.
Oh, oof. Okay. That I was not expecting. Okay. I was... Jeez. Wow.
Holy shit.
Okay. Colour me convinced.
Right?
Which admittedly...
What is this stuff?
It's ash. From the fire.
I think it's a sign. I think we should leave tonight.
Really?
Do it. Do
You
it.
want to? I'm ready.
Do it.
Let's go sneak some clothes and stuff from my house.
For you or for me?
I gotta say, my clothes look damn good on you.
Cool. Let's do it.
Crunch.
And then, we'll get the hell out of Arcadia Bay.
Oh, man.
That sounds perfect.
Whoop. James Amber. Integrity, honesty, and loyalty. Why do I get... Wow. Come on, bitch. Okay, so a couple of things. First of all, that romance, that kiss option even, was way more intense than I expected. Based on, again, spoilers here. Based on what we saw from chapter 3 of Life is Strange, where Chloe dares Max to kiss her, and she just got like a brief peck, and Chloe was surprised. And then what happens in the Sacrifice Chloe ending, which obviously I've seen, although will never select for myself because fuck that. That was. I'm wondering now if things affect that kiss, whether it is. I'm assuming if you reject or play down your feelings for Rachel enough throughout the game to this point, that you don't get the option, or you still get the option, but it's not as reciprocated. Maybe, I don't know, but either way, that was you know, that was proper full on. And I suppose that brings up B, that first of all, that hammers home the events of episode 4, where Chloe finds out exactly what has happened to Rachel, and that makes the scene in the junkyard, which I'm told that the actors were in tears for, that makes that especially hard to bear. And it also brings to light Chloe's assertion that Rachel was her angel. It hammers home that some, you know, there's a saying about relationships formed in times of conflict and trouble. They always burn the brightest, but they are also the briefest. And maybe that's what's happening here. I'm assuming that we are closing in on the end of episode 2. It's been about right time-wise. And that makes... If I was plotting this, you know, if I was writing this for myself, we'd have the first 2 acts leading up to this big climactic moment between Rachel and Chloe. And then something needs to happen now to shit on it. Something needs to happen now to really... Not so much necessarily to break them apart, but to cause massive problems for them. And the foreshadowing of Sarah throughout this story leads me to believe that something now is going to happen with her, and possibly with Rachel's dad. Yeah, that was interesting. That was impressive, and that didn't so much catch me out of left field, but it did surprise me to the extent that they were willing to show that, because I kind of feel like Don't Nod in episode 5, you know, in the ending of the original Life is Strange, they kind of shied away from something as strong or as passionate or as convincing, to be honest. I mean, that was convincing for me. I did wonder, based on what we found out about Frank and Rachel and what we found out all the way through through Life is Strange, that maybe Rachel was just playing Chloe. Or using Chloe. And maybe she still is, to a degree. But at least right there, right then, even with the after effects of the play and the adrenaline and being high on life, there's a certain degree there of realness, of gravitas for those 2 characters. This is Rose, Rachel's mom, who I still believe might not actually be Rachel's mom. Sneaky. Hi, Dad.
You're home.
Uh-oh. Hi.
Rose, Rachel's home. And she brought her new friend.
Hi. Of course, the last time he saw us, he saw us, even, Grammar,
Dinner's almost ready.
was at the office.
Was it?
It was. It is.
Nailed it. I must have been pretty memorable.
You were. I get the sense that you're used to making an impression.
True
Rachel,
that.
Honey, you were resplendent tonight.
Good word.
Thanks.
Chloe, you must join us for dinner
Oh,
tonight.
shit. She must.
She must.
I must?
Of course.
I made chicken a la king. I'm sure you both acted up quite the appetite.
That was quite the scene, to be fair. Either way, I don't think we're going to escape this.
Yeah, no thanks. I'm more of a burger a la king kind of gal.
She's funny, this one.
Yeah, I suspect.
I'm aware.
Oh, that face!
Exactly meet each other at our best this morning.
So much
With
time,
you
I
and Rachel
think.
Becoming such fast friends, I insist you join us for dinner. Don't you agree, Rachel?
Yes, of course. Chloe, would you join us for dinner, please?
Of course.
Of course.
I just need to wash off. Then I'll be right down.
Don't be long. In meantime, perhaps you can help.
Oh, we can't both go together.
Sure thing, Mrs. Amber.
Please call me Rose.
Okay, I'm gonna go pack. After dinner, we can make our break. You cool down here?
Just hurry back. I don't know how long I can keep this up.
Try doing it your whole life.
Oh.
Chloe, we just need to make it through dinner. Try not to say anything that, you know...
That I would normally say.
Exactly.
Burn!
Some quality time with the Ambers.
What could possibly go wrong? Oh, doesn't that just sum up this series of games, though? What could possibly go wrong? I was saying that a lot of time, I think. I know the characters and the models and the artistic aesthetic are very stylized. But somebody's really clearly put a huge amount of time into the facial expressions. Not all the time, but when Rachel is looking at Chloe, I'd almost go as far as saying I think that's maybe some kind of passion project that somebody truly believes. You know, because it's hard. It's hard to capture expressions, even with photographic reference. I mean, I've been doing it for 20 odd years, you know, painting and drawing, and believable and realistic expressions are hard. Stylizing them actually is, in a way, even harder because you need to understand the underlying facial structures, and then you need to exaggerate them or stylize them in such a way that it matches the rest of the aesthetic of your game. Thank you, Chloe. But yeah, the looks, not necessarily between the other characters, but when Rachel and Chloe look at each other, it's very clear to me that the designers were, at least the way I'm playing the game. Who knows? I mean, maybe those expressions change depending on, I don't know, how intimate you are with Rachel. But it does seem very clear to me that there is a level of detail and empathy and love, or at least infatuation, that has been put into this relationship, and that's showing through in the facial expressions. As I think Mass Effect Andromeda found out, you mess up your facial animations to the detriment of your entire project. It destroys, or at least severely cripples, your character building. It hampers any relationship that you can try and create. This is why I've been teaching Show Not Tell today with students, and saying that, you know, you need to show feeling and emotion. You can't just say, oh yeah, they were in love. You need to show that we as human beings are, at least if we are empathetic enough and not completely blind to these things, we focus and we understand other people based on not what they say, but what they do and how they show it. They show things. You know, you can tell somebody you love them, but if you can't show them through the things that you do, through your facial expressions, through your body language, that can all fall apart. It can become easy to mess up and destroy that illusion. And I think that is one thing that this game has really done. And I think maybe that's why I get so invested in this, that those relationships are so well created and formed. And I think, going back to my point about Nathan that I made earlier, seeing Nathan's actually on screen with his dad was so much more interesting than just hearing about their relationship via, text messages and emails and documents and letters. Seeing them actually interact together and seeing Nathan cowering there with his dad, who's not all that big, but still having that imposing demeanour and personality that kind of crushed Nathan. Nathan's line delivery, I thought, in the play was a bit off. But he can't be good at everything. So yeah, really, really impressed so far. And of course, I'm still really, really worried, because obviously, having played the original Life is Strange, I know where it's going to go. And I can safely say, after this episode, that for better or for worse, and most likely for worse, that I am now invested in this relationship with Chloe and Rachel. I know it's only been 2 days in the course of the actual game time, but in terms of chemistry, it's there. But as the saying goes, you need 2 things for any kind of relationship to work. You need chemistry and you need timing. And whilst the chemistry is certainly there, I have the sneaky suspicion, based on the foreshadowing so far, that the timing is what will keep them in Arcadia Bay. And because, of course, they are kept in Arcadia Bay, the chain of events, the cause and effect, will play out. Because as far as I'm aware, I don't think there is an alternative ending to the game where the events from the original Life is Strange aren't played out. I'll be quite surprised if there is. I'll be quite entertained if there is. If there is actually a way where you can have a divergent ending to this game where Rachel and Chloe will go off and live happily ever after. That would be nice. I would very much like that. But I don't think it will happen. I suspect Deck 9 will have stuck to the canon, such as it is, of Life is Strange. Which is a shame, really. It would have been nice if they'd maybe gone that extra mile to create that divergence, but I strongly suspect that they won't have. But despite my misgivings and fears that I'll be a boiling wreck after finishing Before the Storm, I can definitely say now that I am invested in this friendship stroke relationship stroke whatever. I mean, that twist and turn in the play, that going off script, was beautiful. Yeah, I think that is honestly the word I would use. It takes a lot of balls, guts, to go off script, to improvise when you know that it could theoretically all blow up in your face. I suppose that is a metaphor for life and its, if you'll forgive me, strangeness.